Intake 29, Group 3, presenting public-private partnership proposal for Wakiso Integrated Municipal Solid Waste to Energy and Fertilizer project. I'm Brian Imeka, together with my colleagues. We are 10, and the presentation outline, we shall present the profile, strategic feasibility, suitability, preliminary feasibility, risk assessment, PPP suitability, fiscal affordability, institutional capability, and then we shall do a conclusion. As a way of introduction, a PPP is a long-term contract between a private party, usually government, and the private party for development and management of a public good or service in which the private party bears significant risk and management responsibility throughout the life of the project or the contract, and it is remunerated through performance or demand or use of the good or service. This project is located in Wakiso district, which is in the greater Kampala metropolitan area in Uganda, the area with the highest human resident population and factories. So as you can imagine, the volume of solid waste generated is the highest in that district in the whole country. The project is in the sector of solid waste management and renewable energy, and it includes door-to-facility transfer, material recovery, anaerobic digestion, heat and energy generation, fertilizer production, and it has a robust leachate and odor control. It is proposed that we deliver this through construction, operation, and maintenance arrangement. And we're proposing to invest $65 million. And the project has, the facility will have a capacity of 1,000 tons. It will have capacity to process 1,000 tons per day, which translates into approximately 365 tons a year. It will produce 4.8 megawatt power, which is approximately 42 gigawatt hour per year, and 60,000 tons of fertilizer, compost fertilizer every year. The PPP model is design, build, finance, operate, and maintain for a period of 20 years, where we want to spend 2 years in construction and then 18 years in operations. The main partner is Government of Uganda, that's a private partner. And then the private partner is a special purpose vehicle consortium, which is responsible for engineering, procurement, construction, financing, and operations and maintenance. The major stakeholders are Wakiso District Local Government, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, the PPP unit, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, especially the Uganda UETCL, Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited, for its role in transmitting the energy that we shall be generating. Then the ERA, Electricity Regulatory Authority, for regulating the energy generation activities, National Environment Management Authority, for its role in sustainable management of environment, UNBS, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and then Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries for its role in manure production and regulation. I call on the next expert, Charles, to present the next slide.
Okay, thank you, Brian. My name is Charles Oberu once more, and I'm going to present the strategic stability of this project. This project aligns to so many international, regional, and national frameworks. Specifically, this project will align to Sustainable Development Goals 3, 13, and 15, which deal with green growth and renewable energy and industrialization. And also locally, we're going to align this project to Vision 2040 of the Government of Uganda and NDP 4 which is being implemented from 2025 to 2030. And this project will also address the open dumping that is rampant in Wakiso. As you've heard, it's a highly populated district and with so many industries and characterized by a poor population that does a lot of open dumping. So we're going to be able to collect these wastes and be able to utilize them to make sure we cut on the landfill shortage in this area and reduce public health risks, and therefore reducing the burden on the public sector. And we're also going to ensure that through the private sector, we mobilize private investment in essential infrastructure like landfills and all that other infrastructure that was spoken about by Brian. And this will help government a lot and also be able to create jobs for the young people in Wakiso and within the nearby districts. And the benefit for the community and everyone will be a cleaner neighborhood and reduced health risks, green energy, and organic fertilizer, because most of our Ugandan population is agricultural, and yet government spends a lot of money importing fertilizer. So we are going to make sure this project generates enough fertilizer to have our people do profitable farming. So with this, I'll therefore invite my next colleague to come and take us through the next slide.
Thank you, Mr. Oberu, for taking us through the strategic aspects of this project. Okay, thank you. I'm going to take you through the preliminary feasibility of this project. My name is Tony Seruviri. As already mentioned from our project profile, there are a number of aspects we are looking at, and the feasibility that has been undertaken will require a 12-hectare site with a materials recovery facility together with anaerobic digesters, together with a 3 megawatts combined heat and power facility. Mr. Brian mentioned about the key aspects of the project, and we are including it in this feasibility, including the composting, that's the fertilizer aspect, then the leachate and odor control. We want to create an environment that is safe for everyone in this area, the Wakiso area. And it has already been mentioned, it is a rapid growing industrial area. So we need to keep it quite safe for so many people and the growing population. The throughput of this project includes 1,000 tons per day of waste, which is about 365,000 tons per year. This, as I mentioned, I will mention later on, this will be increasing annually. Under this project, we expect to produce about 4.8 megawatts, which is equivalent to 42 gigawatt hours per year. This has also been mentioned earlier on. So it is a worth project for the city of Wakiso and possibly the nearby areas. On speaking about the compost or the fertilizer, which we expect our population to use, or the citizens in the nearby areas of Wakiso and other places, we plan to produce 60,000 tons per year. It's approximately 164 tons per day. And that shows you that we are looking at various aspects of the economy, looking at agricultural output. On waste generation, I mentioned this is a growing city, growing town. It's industrial, the population is increasing. We expect growth of waste to increase. From the research we have undertaken, it shows that we have 4 to 6% growth annually of waste generation for this plant. So this will ensure supply of this waste to the plant, and possibly we could even readjust to produce more power in the nearby future. Then the other aspect is on technology. We are choosing to use the latest technologies to ensure sustainability of our project and for the benefit of our country and cities. We're taking climate change very strongly. We are looking at the low emissions systems. We do not want to emit to spoil our environment. So we're looking at technologies that will allow low emissions, low carbon emissions. And finally, this project will be a bankable one. It's bankability. We expect it to be quite profitable to the city of Wakiso and the country at large. Thank you very much for this. I will therefore now ask my colleague, Ndungu, Mr. to take us through the risk assessment. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for taking us through preliminary feasibility. My name is James Dongo. I'll be taking you through risk assessment of this project. And the project aligns with the risk assessment framework under the Uganda PPP Act 2015 and Ministry of Finance guideline. And the first risk we are likely to have is land acquisition. The project will require approximately 15 hectares, of which 10 hectares that will be public land and 5 hectares will be acquired privately from private owners. The risk here could be the disputes of land ownership. And to mitigate this, we are going to establish a resettlement action plan and do early due diligence of the owners of this property to make sure that the compensations are done on time. The other risk this project is likely to face is financial risk, where there could be limited lenders, and also the forex exchange risk. And to mitigate this, the market sounding of this project is likely to attract money lenders, the commercial banks and regional banks. And to mitigate the FX risk, we are going to enter into forward exchange contracts to make sure that the currency exposure of this project is taken care of. There's a risk of design and construction risk, whereby we could have overrun interface failure and underperformance of this project, whereby the project may not meet the expected output. And to mitigate this, we are going to use a proven AD and CHP technology. And also we'll have a performance bond and have independent engineers who will do the oversight and audit and monitor every stage of construction and testing before the commissioning of the project. The other risk is operational and maintenance risk, where the project may underperform. And there could be also emissions and odor that can affect the environment and spillage and leakages. And to mitigate this, we will have key performance indicators to make sure that all the partners, they meet the expectation. And the capex that will be procured as well will have warranties. And there will be also preventive maintenance plans, as well as training the locals on how to operate these plants. And we also have a market and demand risk, where there could be shortfall of the input of the 1,000 tons expectation of municipal solid waste, as well as the output, the sale of the fertilizers and the power. And to mitigate this, we will enter into contract prior with the UETC to ensure that the power is exported to the grid, and as well as the government, with the government, to make sure that they pay the tipping fee, as well as subsidize our fertilizers to make it affordable to the general population. And the last risk this project is exposed to is off-takers risk, where there could be delays of some of the partners, like the Uganda electricity, the UETCL meeting its contract payments, as well as the local government, which might delay the project to take off. And to mitigate these, we are going to ensure that it's well backed by the budget. Minister of Finance, they will make sure that this project is included in the budget. So there will be funding. And also, should there be payment disputes, the resolution will be set up to make sure they are solved, and payment are made without the delay to make sure that the project takes off. I thank you. I'll let my colleague to take us to the next slide.
Thank you, Mr. James Ndungu. My name is Tracy Achola, and I'll be taking us through the PPP suitability. And to kick off, we have value for money. And value for money in public-private partnership projects refers to achieving the best possible outcome or total benefit relative to the whole of the life cost and not just the initial price. And as SPV Consortium, we intend to demonstrate that our option is better than the net benefits of the public sector as compared to the traditional public procurement. Under value for money still, we intend to minimize the cost of resources, inputs, while ensuring the appropriate quality. We are also going to maximize the ratio of outputs and maximize the extent to which each desired outcome is delivered and achieved. Then we shall ensure equity to make sure that the benefits and the costs are fairly distributed among the different stakeholders and the social groups. And next is the life efficiency and the risk transfer. This refers to optimizing the total long-term cost and performance of an asset, while risk transfer involves strategically allocating project risks to the party best equipped to manage them. And here we see that the government of Uganda, who we intend to partner with, will be better placed to manage the risks because they have the necessary equipment, in as much as we as SPV Consortium also have the necessary equipment, which include the design, construction, operation, and the financing of the project, which is 56%. This will also enable us and put us in a better place to well manage them as and when they come through. Construction of the operation and maintenance risks, and government is going to be able to pay for the availability. And here we see that each risk is going to be able to be assigned to the party best able to manage them. As SPV, we are going to be able to manage the construction, and the government will be able to manage the other public risks. Availability flow, which is 56%, to ensure stable cash flow. As the SPV Consortium, we are contributing a 56%, I beg your pardon, of cash flow. And that every one time during the life of this project, we shall be able to finance it, and the cash flow will be stable. So that means that cash will be flowing in to ensure project efficiency and up until its conclusion. Then we have the design, build, finance, operate, and maintain with a 20-year term. After we are reached the conclusion and we are done, we shall be able to transfer this project to the next party, which is the government of Uganda. I thank you for listening. Allow me invite my colleague, Mr. Nsimenta Onesmus, to take us through the next slide.
Thank you, Tracy. Now I'm presenting for you physical affordability. This is Onesmus Nsimenta. We look at the capital expenditure that we need. We need 40 million USD as a capital expenditure, whereby we shall have to break it into details, and we have to buy the land. We have to invest anything that we need to start a project. We are using this money to do what? To establish it. In consideration of the operational expenses are also catered under 40 million USD. Then look at the direct exposure. Of GDP will be affected by this is what we shall be benefiting domestic product with the government when they are. This is what we are seeking from the government supporters. Then contingent, there is a risk of 0.06%, which is almost no risk, where we are quite sure of the project that the risk is going to be shared, where we have public, private, and partners. And for us, we are taking a big advantage as the team, as the private partners, since we are doing this with the government. Then we are seeing 66% revenue share from availability payments. What are those payments? Whereby we're looking at fertilizers, energy, and other products are going to be generating from this waste that we're going to be collecting from the city, from the district. Whereby Wakiso district is the largest district with the largest population in Uganda, and it has more than 2 million Ugandan people, and we expect a lot of. Okay, we have constant flow of waste collection, and which we shall be using as raw materials to generate power and transform waste into other products. Those are fertilizers, and which are going to be putting on the market. And as of now in Uganda, we have little or possibly no one who is doing this. So we have availability of the market, and we have high demand of those products are going to be generating. That means we shall be getting a lot of revenue from them. Then we look at value for money, which will be 36%, and economic internal rate of return of 18%. Value for money, really, it is worth it, because when you look at the situation or the environment we are going to operate from, there is that need for the project that we are going to put on, and people are going to appreciate what we are going to be doing. Economic internal rate of return, we are looking at the project effect of the project. Really, the project is worth. Why it is worth economically and financially, people are willing, and the government has appreciated this initiative that we are bringing up on board. Then we look at under that economic internal rate of return, every partner, especially the government, is there to be overseer and make sure that our project does not affect any other human or any other part of their economic plans. Then on annual performance summaries, planned with medium-term expenditure framework with indection and deduction. On indection, we are looking at adjustments on prices of the raw materials, or adjustment on prices of anything that we are going to be producing, especially these items like energy and manure that we are going to be producing, even fertilizers we are going to be putting in the market. Indection can always comes up with cost of inflation, exchange rates, and inflation. When those three comes up, we have us as a team, as a company, we have to sit down and revalue or reconsider our prices and put them up for better value of our products, and to make sure that people are benefiting directly or without having other competitors who are going to outcompete our products in the market. So in our annual performance summaries, all these will be indicated, plus doing deductions. Deductions shall be looking at payment, especially if we are meant to be collecting manure from Wakiso district, like in those cities around the places of town councils, if you spend 2 days without working, automatically, if you are supposed to work for 5 days and you spend 2 days without working or collecting that waste, we shall not be paying you automatically. We shall have to deduct your resources. Let me invite my next friend to take us in the next item, who is Sandra Atkwasi.
Yes, thank you. My name is Sandra Twase, and I'm going to be presenting the next slide, which is about institutional capability. With institutional capability, we are looking at how we shall be organized, how we shall be strong, and how we shall be coordinated so as to be able to implement and sustain the project under the PPP private partnership. In this case, we shall see how we shall be able to work hand in hand with the government and be able to make the Wakiso solid to energy and fertilizer project successful, efficient, and sustainable. In this case, we shall be able to achieve that by looking at various ways and different cases that we shall have to look at, present to make sure our institution is very much capable, and that is to begin with the lead role. The lead role, we shall let Wakiso district take up the lead, and we work hand in hand to ensure there is proper coordination, policy oversight, and regulatory guidance to ensure that our project aligns with Uganda's waste management and environmental sustainability. The district local government, that is Wakiso, will help us to link all partners and ensure that the activities are well coordinated. And this will be due by closely working with strategic partners, each having a specific and complementary role. To mention, that is Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development will provide policy direction and ensure that the partnership conforms to Uganda's PPP Act. And it will offer technical and financial guidance in structuring and managing the project. Again, support the district in monitoring financial sustainability and risk management throughout the project's life cycle. Our project will work hand in hand with the National Environmental Management Authority and ensure that it adheres to environmental laws and regulations. Under the same point of NEMA, our project will conduct environmental audits and carry out monitoring and implementation of the environmental and social plans. The project under the lead role will still be in compliance with electricity regulatory authority we shall license the generation and the sale of electricity from the west to energy plant and ensure that the power produced meets the national quality and safety standards. Wakiso project will make sure that we shall make sure that the project's financial sustainability links to the national energy market. Next point, we have a transactional advisor for PPP structuring and procurement. A transactional advisor is a professional consultant hired to guide government on how to structure and procure the PPP project. And as per our project, we shall have to hire one to help us to prepare feasibility studies, design financial models, and help us to select the private investor transparently. Again, we shall have that transactional advisor to make sure the project is practical, financially sustainable, and aligns with the public goals. The other side, we shall have an independent engineer for construction and operation audits. Our project will hire an external, will hire an independent engineer. This will come to do supervisory duties, check out how far we are working, how quality our project is, and assess whether what we are doing matches with the goals as per the partnership. And again, the engineer will check whether the waste to energy and fertilizer systems are built according to the design and operate safely. We shall let the independent engineer to audit performance, like the quality of electricity generated, emissions released, and fertilizers produced, to ensure that our project meets agreed standards without doubt. Then we shall consider the contract management unit with KPIs and performance monitoring. This will specifically have to check out whether our team is really performing to the expectations. Our project has set goals to achieve and obligations to meet. So with the contract management team, it will help us to ensure that what is planned is what is achieved. Then we go to stakeholder engagement and our grievance redress embedded in ESMPV. It is our duty as a project to make sure that the community that we are operating within is finding no negative effects with our project. So we shall make sure that we engage our stakeholder team, the community, the leaders, to phase out what they are facing with our project. And as a team, we shall make sure we sit down and address such problems. Cases to do with order, transport, cases to do with order, traffic management shall all be addressed, and we shall be able to continue and sustain, and again be capable to continue with the project. I call upon the last presenter to proceed from there.
I'll be taking this through the first 3 points of the bottom line. So the first one is the project is strategically aligned, technically feasible, and environmentally superior. What does it mean to the public government? This means that our project is aligned with Uganda's Vision 2040, which is to transform the country into a modern and competitive state. It contributes directly by promoting sustainable development, innovation, and improved public services. Also, the project is not only ambitious, but also realistic and achievable. And we will ensure the environment is sustainable by reducing pollution, promoting clean energy, and supporting the Uganda's climate goals. The PP model delivers efficiency, accountability, and private capital leverage. Through the partnership, the government is able to leverage private investment, expertise, and technology, which will lead to high quality service delivery at a lower overall cost of all the activities. Also, in this partnership, the project clearly states roles and responsibilities and supports performance-based contract in place, meaning if the SPV does not meet the expected set goals, there are financial consequences, which hence ensures discipline and efficiency. And also, this project reduces the burden on the public sector, in this case, which is the Wakiso government, allowing the project to proceed faster than it would if solely depended on public funds. Also, fiscal burden is limited and transparent. Unlike the traditional government-funded projects where the government bears the entire burden, the financial responsibility is shared between the private, which is us, and the government partners, where most of the capital and operational costs is taken over by the private partners, and the government makes gradual pay based on the actual performance and results. And also this project minimizes the possibility of misuse of funds, since all transactions, risks, and responsibilities are clearly documented. I call upon the last presenter, Jacinta, to proceed with the last 2 points. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. My name is Jacinta, like Sheena has just said, and we are looking at institutional arrangements to ensure oversight and performance in our PPP project. And on this, we look at the readiness for a detailed feasibility study, which was already done, as mentioned above, and also the environmental and social impact assessment, which is to ensure compliance with environmental and social safeguards, and also supporting sustainable project design. And finally, colleagues, in conclusion, Wakiso Integrated Municipal Solid Waste to Energy and Fertilizer project will ensure that there will be a PPP structuring. Thank you, colleagues. Back to you, James.
Thank you so much. My name is Aketi Mudua. In conclusion, I finally request that this project is approved. The PP project in question is approved for the benefit of the community, environment, and the country at large. Thank you.
Okay,